I'm going to talk about Tsongkhapa's lineage. And the lineage is very important, so no one thinks that it's made up or taken from the air, or it's just simply something that maybe Jrmg made up. So it's very important to know the lineage of the teachings and where it came from, so it has validity and it gives us confidence. And also, I put Setrap Tormas there because during a Tsongkhapa retreat, we would engage it together with a protector retreat. And I'll tell you why. Then I'm going to talk about when we have obstacles, when we have certain diseases, certain financial crises, certain internal crises, and how to purify that according to Tsongkhapa's birthday. So I will talk about that for everyone. Tsongkhapa's birthday can be Kuan Yin's birthday, Tsongkhapa's birthday, Shakyamuni's birthday, and if we have clean Samaya, our Guru's birthday. It's our form of Buddhism. Some of us are going to go into retreat. Some of us are going to do dancing and art. Some of us are going to teach. Some of us are going to write. Some of us are going to edit. Some of us are going to be personal assistants. Some of us are going to travel. Some of us will do mantras and rituals. Some of us will be giving transmissions in the future. So everybody has a special gift. And everybody in Kichara House organization will have a home and a spiritual place to fit in. Because you know what? The party that you're at right now will be over very soon. So when the party's over, you got to get down to the real business. That's spirituality. I'm going to do this. It takes about 6-7 minutes. The procedure is for retreatants, watch what I do. That's what you're going to have to do during your retreat. For those who will engage in retreats in the future, it's the same thing, but I'm just going to do a short offering of Torma. All right? Om benza amrita kundali hana hana hon pe om subo wenshida sawadama subo wenshida han tomba ni do yo tombe tomba ni do yo tombe na le rani rani du du ju le rinpoche no yang shin kya chewe nang gi nang do om le toma kato jiru nu ba punso soba saba me be yishgi du ji kya so chenbo yo oma a ho oma a ho oma a ho oma a ho oma a Oma ahu. Om benza amrita kundali hana hana hon pe om subo shida sawadama subo shida han tomba ni do yo tomba ni do jo tombe nang de rangi dun du jun le rinpoche do yang shin kya chewe nangi nang do on le jun we hla ze le ju be che yun sha se me do du pu na se Jrmg she se ro mo nang dang Shindo pa saba me bi ji du ji kya zo chen bo yo Oma a go ma hong ba jing ao bez bi bi ao bez du be ao bez di be ao bez gen de ao bez de bez Oma benza shabda a Oma benza shabda a Oma benza shabda a Oma benza shabda a hong Tsongkha benzo de le jone du songi zai ge Llama yi dang kun jo song pa wo gan zhu che yo son song je to je wang yi ten shi ten ba ju che nam ran shi chong ge so du ji shang zang ba ji zi du chi yang cha wei ken zen tri le jin sha gun dang ba go ji a xie zu zo 刚的刚节我节都刚的，大家学着不节聚集节聚集节不不节老上涨，适当节把你的些事，对节大家身体变得健，节就老板节别主管，大佬这边送当行走走，加班加钱加。 谢继军对加上南外基金类似就这边把这画面这边个短短短评短短浪家早，以往就要拿做没做当基金对方公司局长说，我想已经军加最低送当行政就浪就宝贝，大概就没短短300亿，龙安一些地方基金当然就把什么像新疆民政校，一年这边招不说下，后面对这马路走了就这些方面当然都有些，我不基金垃圾是把拉，大街上把早把也让我，加上老马当把简单给就跟搞了经济几年的，其实上面对这什么拉。 啥解决个阿家，恰到话就说，那么的日子一年前把也是员工了，恰到没个样，当帮韩国如果了帮的 CTB 的，谈把说大少今年稍微给往的，简单做话困难搞帮当，结把节省路上找把也，但没hin把领导啥些说。 啥些不解决些民众张力让的身体能给忙的，上街系统没在偶尔也。如果能到进到就把说一大忙苦着，让他们到那个年大呀咋样，咪没这位接近前的是，准备准备红包奖杯呀。对方嘛有种是上位大，赶紧给别最近中高包，路上找别小老送完的，咪没这位接近前的是，准备给别红包奖杯呀。对方嘛有种是上位大。 赶紧给别最近中高包，路上找别小老送完的，妹妹这边接近前年是准备给别红包奖杯样，对方嘛有种是上位大，赶紧给别最近中高包，路上找别小老送完的，妹妹这边接近前年是准备给别红包奖杯样，对方嘛有种是上位大，赶紧给别最近中高包，路上找别小老送完的，变得早晚老么的。 妹妹这边接近前年是准备给别红包奖杯样。 对方嘛有种是上位大，赶紧给别最近中高包，路上找别小老送完的。When the letter D of my heart light rays radiate, invite the King of the Dharma, the great Tsongkhapa, surrounded by the assembly of Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, to come to the space before me to partake of the essence of the Dharmas by drawing through their tongues, which are straws of Vajra light. Oma Guru Sumati Kiti Sabadi Wadi Idamam Takaka Kai Kahi Oma Guru Sumati Kiti Sabadi Wadi Idamam Takaka Kai Kahi Oma Guru Sumati Kiti Sabadi Wadi Idamam Takaka Kai Kahi Oma Guru Sumati Kiti Sabadi Wada Agum Baji Zain Soha Oma Guru Sumati Kiti Sabadi Wada Paji Baji Zain Soha Oma Guru Sumati Kiti Sabadi Wada Pube Baji Zain Soha Oma Guru Sumati Kiti Dube Baji Zain Soha Oma Guru Sumati Kiti Aloge Baji Zain Soha Oma Guru Sumati Kiti Sabadi Agende Baji Zain Soha Oma Guru Kiti Oma Guru Sumaji Kieti Nivende Baji Zain Soha Oma Guru Sumaji Kieti Shabda Baji Zahun Soha Oma Guru Sumaji Kieti Oma Guru Sumaji Kieti Agum Baji Pube Dube Di Begende Nivende Shabda Baji Zahun Soha. I prostrate to you, O glorious and venerable precious Guru Llama Tsongkhapa, who are kinder than all the Buddhas, the sole eyes of migrating beings of the three realms, and the protector of those who seek liberation. I prostrate to you, O glorious and venerable precious Guru Tsongkhapa, who are kinder than all the Buddhas, the sole eyes of migrating beings of the three realms, and the protector of all those who seek liberation. I prostrate to you, O glorious and venerable precious Guru Tsongkhapa, who are kinder than all the Buddhas, the sole eyes of migrating beings of the three realms, and the protector of those who seek liberation. Benden zawa lama Rinpoche dagininga benden jila karin Jrmg gorin jinse kusundukin gorin jadu so benden zawa lama Rinpoche dagininga benden jila karin Jrmg gorin jinse chudantum gorin jadu so benden zawa lama Rinpoche dagininga benden jila karin Jrmg gorin jinse janju nimbo bandu tambara sho 안다소 진에 사백개만디 천단조 권한가마다 제바 제순 도선 잡아이 담배 힘분리도 사시 쇼 주지 잡아 정가바 주지 남아 배와라 긴지제마 심원단 tun지마라 창원쇼 다당 제순 주주당 저외 존내라데네 제바 도선 잡아이 담바 유링바 주지. Now, Lama Tsongkhapa's practice, it's not something that was pulled out of the air. It was something that was made up. There's a lineage that I'm sharing with you. I received it from His Holiness, the Glorious Kyabje Jrmg, in the 80s in Los Angeles. The lineage, the practice, the oral transmission, the commentary, I received from His Holiness Kyabje Jrmg. And so therefore, originally, the teachings of the Lama Tsongkhapa Guru Yoga or Ganden Lagyama. Ganden Lagyama is the 100 deities of Tushita heaven. So Ganden Lagyama or Guru Yoga, same thing. Or Tsongkhapa Yoga, same thing, whatever you want to call it. Yoga, why? Because it's something that it's a yoga for the mind. Okay, it's not you get into weird positions. It's a yoga of the mind. We know some people. Why did you look at him when I say weird positions? When I said weird positions, he went. Rude, isn't it? It's okay. We'll get him back. It was part of the scriptures that is called the Kadampa emanation scriptures spoken by Manjushri. That was extracted by Tsongkhapa himself. When that was extracted from Tsongkhapa itself, it became the 100 deities of the joyful land, or Maitreya's paradise, Maitreya's heaven. The name is derived from Maitreya's heaven, because in this meditation we visualize Lama Tsongkhapa coming from Maitreya's heart. So originally this teaching was taught in the Kadampa emanation scriptures by Manjushri. Tsongkhapa extracted it. From Tsongkhapa it was passed down to his student Jrmg Sengye, who was born in Tsang, and who was one of the thousands of disciples of Lama Tsongkhapa and the first Dalai Lama's contemporary. And he established the famous the Gyume Tantra College, which is still around today and still teaching Tantra. Then from Jrmg Sengye, it was passed to Dungapa Benden Sangbo. All right? Benden Sangbo was very, very sincere. You know why? During his lifetime, he gained very powerful realizations. And he was well known for doing Miktsama rituals and Miktsama recitation, Tsongkhapa's mantra, and healing people. So many people from thousands of miles around will come to him for healing using Miktsama mantras. He was well known in his life for that. So from Manjushri to Tsongkhapa to Jrmg Sengye to Dungapa Benden Sangbo. From Benden Sangbo, these teachings were passed down to Gyunchen Gendunpe. This was passed down to Gyuchen Tashipa. This was passed down to Samdru Gyatso. This was passed down to Tsundrupa. Then to the great Lama Dorji Sangbo. Then this was passed down to Kidrup Sangye Gyatso. Then this was passed down eventually to the great Pabongka Rinpoche. Pabongka Rinpoche was passed down to Trijang Rinpoche. From Trijang Rinpoche was passed down to Song Rinpoche. From Song Rinpoche I received it directly. So the teachings that I'm sharing with you tonight came from somewhere. Tsem Rinpoche didn't make it up. I didn't make it up. I'm not here to make up anything. There's a lineage. It came from somewhere, and it came from over hundreds of years. Passed down from Lama to disciple, Lama to disciple. So whatever I pass to you is passed down from my teacher. If you wish, at the end of our session, I will pass down the oral transmission of the mantra, which I have received from Kyabje Song Rinpoche and Kyabje Ling Rinpoche. And that is an oral transmission of reciting the mantra. So when you recite it, it will have more power. It have more benefit. All right? So this was passed down, and it's still being practiced now. Still being practiced now. This is called the Segu Lineage, the Segu Secret Lineage. Segu, Segu Lineage. And hence, why the Segu Lineage? Because Jrmg Sengye, Benden Sangbo, Kidrup Sangye Gyatso, these lamas come from an area called Se. So therefore, we call it Gyu. Gyu is lineage in Tibetan. Se is the area they're from. So these high lamas came from an area called Se. So the lineage from the lamas from Se. So Segu Lineage. And the incredible thing about this lineage is that it incorporates 4 bodhisattvas within the practice of Tsongkhapa. Maitreya, Vajrapani, Manjushri, Avalokiteshvara. And you know what's incredible about this practice is that if we are sick, or we have a lot of sickness coming, or we are aging, or that we feel the results of our age in our body, or we have a threat to our life, this particular lineage of Lama Tsongkhapa's practice is very effective for healing and extending one's life. I didn't make this up. This is within the lineage that I just explained to you. Anybody interested in list of names, I will pass it to you through my assistants. So I'm not making this up. And I'll explain how that works. It's nothing miraculous. It isn't just chanting and everything happens. There's much more. So that is the authentic lineage called the Segu lineage, which I have explained. So what I'm talking to you has a lineage. It's not made up. It's passed down. If it's passed down, it means it must have had some value, or else people would have just thrown it out. Definitely. All right? Now, when we do Tsongkhapa's practice, all right, there are some tremendous benefits. I will tell you in short what are the benefits. Because today I'm not going to teach on Tsongkhapa's Guru Yoga meditation. I'm just going to teach on the supportive factors. All right? The benefits. I'm not going to talk exactly as it is. So the benefits of Jrmg's practice is this. You can increase your life. Who in this room is not afraid of death? Who in this room is not afraid of someone you love will die? Who's not? Everybody is. Who's not afraid of aging? We all got to get old, but if we can get old gracefully, means with our body intact and working, that'll be great. Look at Dato Mei Peng. She's 120 years old. She can run around like a racehorse. Must be previous life Tsongkhapa. Then you look at some people half her age, they're limping around, like me. Oh, no, I'm not half her age. That means I'm 60. No, cannot be. Put my own foot in my mouth. It can increase your life. No joke. This one catches Jrmg specifically said, and I'll tell you in the future how. Then we can increase our wisdom. Okay? We can increase our wisdom tremendously. Then, through this practice, there's a special meditation to purify the things we have done with our bodies that were not virtuous, that we're ashamed of, that maybe we don't even talk about, that creates mishealth or bad health. Through this practice, it can be purified so that with that, your health will increase. Definitely. If you do this practice very well, you will be reborn in future. In case in this lifetime or in this period of Shakyamuni's time, you're not able to attain enlightenment or higher attainments, you will be reborn as Maitreya's student. So that means when the next Buddha, the 5th Buddha to appear, you will not be hanging somewhere in a corner eating a biscuit and not knowing what's going on. You will be reborn in the presence as one of Maitreya's students. So what am I saying? There's hope. So if you don't make it this time around, there's another train. All right? Don't miss the next train. Rather, get on the train you're on now. Then, when you do this practice well, listen to me carefully. This part is a little complicated for people who don't know the word. Powa. P-O-W-A. If you do this Lama Tsongkhapa practice well, when you are going through the 7 processes of death, where your winds are dissolving one by one by one, when you're going through the process, instead of fear, grabbing onto the pillows, holding on to your family, screaming, seeing darkness, seeing dead people come and get you, it will be a time of peace and happiness and joy. If you do this Tsongkhapa's practice, Segu practice well, at the time of death, it will be an automatic poa. Means By simple remembrance, you'll be able to take a good rebirth immediately. So this practice is very effective. There are two ways to do that. You can do it through Amitabha, or you can do it by a Lama doing it for you. But if your guru's not around, he's watching a DVD and he doesn't have time for you and you're dying, it's BTTSF for you. Okay? You guys figure out what BTTSF means. Okay, let me tell you. Back to the shit farm. Okay? So if your guru's watching a DVD and you're dying, and he tells his assistant, this assistant tells the other assistant, the higher assistant's not around because he's getting drunk with somebody, and you're dying. And you know how complicated it is to get an appointment with Jrmg. It doesn't change when you're dying either. Same procedures. And with this Ladrang, it's going to get even more complicated, so you're lucky you're here. So you can say, you know what, I love you, Jrmg, you're wonderful, but I can do it myself because you taught me how. So through Tsongkhapa's meditation, you can learn how to die. I'm not going to teach you how to die. I'm going to teach you when you're dying what to do. Yeah. So don't think, I leave here, I'm going to die. I'm not going to teach nobody to die. That's not Buddhism. But I'm going to teach you how to die. And there's two benefits. When you learn how to die every day, your life changes. You start having value to what is valuable. And when you learn how to die every day, when you're dying, it becomes just natural. And you'll wake up with a nice new body, nice new place, everything perfect, everything wonderful to start practice. I mean, be very honest. Do you want to be you again? Yes. Some of us are thinking very deep. Yes. Would you want to be you again? Hang out and drink all day, get drunk, have few kids like dogs, work your whole life supporting the monsters. You want to do that all over again? No thanks. Okay, then poor practice is very good. And what's incredible is that when you follow these practices every single day, this Tsongkhapa meditation and recitation every day, on top of that, you'll be able to understand the Dharma very well. The Dharma will go in your mind very well. Let me tell you how. When you do the Guru Yoga of Tsongkhapa, it's just 1.5 pages. It's very short and sweet. When you do the Guru Yoga, after Miktsema, you recite the prayer called Yönden Shigyurma. That is written by Tsongkhapa. After you recite Miktsema, when you recite Yönden Shigyurma is the 84,000 of teachings condensed into an aspirational prayer. It is the Lamrim prayer in short. So after the Miktsema, when you recite that, visualizing Lama Tsongkhapa, what is it saying there? You can understand the most subtleties of the Dharma teachings. You can understand, you can apply, and you can transform. So when you do Lama Tsongkhapa's practice well, you will understand the teachings in depth. You will understand the teaching with a penetrating insight, penetrating wisdom. You will not just run around telling people, Dharma is making offerings, you give donation, you don't eat meat, that's Dharma la. No, it's not going to be like, it'll be much more. And when you understand the Dharma deeply, you know what happens. Your whole panorama, your whole spectrum changes, and you change everybody around you. Anybody whose minds expand and grows will bring light to everybody around them. If you're like this time, next year like this, same, nobody's impressed. They're like a kampong auntie, a kampong uncle. But if your mind expands, how? By Dharma knowledge. Your whole spectrum changes. Then if you look at yourself, since you entered Dharma, how much have you transformed? Since you have entered Dharma, ask yourself honestly, what have you done for the Dharma? What have you achieved for yourself? What have you accomplished? Has it been broken promises? Has it been things that you said you'll do and you left behind you didn't do? Since you entered Dharma, have you transformed? Have you become a better person, a nicer person, a more lovely person? Since you have entered Dharma, what have you done? You check yourself. That is for yourself to check. That's not criticism, that's self-check. So if you haven't done much, if you haven't transformed much, and you haven't changed much, you need Tsongkhapa's practice very much. Do you know why? Because Tsongkhapa's practice not only blesses you to understand the Dharma in depth, the secret is it helps you to apply. Do you know why? The secret toward application is the purification of negative habituations. Negative and positive habituations cannot fit into one mind stream. So if your mind stream is filled with negative habituations, how can you adopt positive? There's no space. The only way to adopt positive habituations is to purify the karma that supports that type of habituation. When the karma to support that type of habituation is purified, that habituation goes away. When that habituation goes away, then positive habituation is replaced. Think carefully. I'm giving you logic how karma works. Logic. I didn't say you pray and then your mind changed. I'm telling you how. So in Tsongkhapa's practice, it's very powerful for purification. Purification of what? All the times you were greedy, angry, made a lot of selfish mistakes, where you shouted at people, you hurt people's feelings. All of us are guilty of that. All those times. Do you think just because you stopped, the karma has stopped? No, unless the Buddha is wrong. Whatever you have done, the karma is dormant within you. And guess what? This is the scary part, according to Jrmg. Every single day, those karma don't remain dormant. They double and they increase. So if you had stolen something from someone, or you have broken someone's relationship, or you shouted at someone, the karma of shouting or breaking a relationship it's just very small because that one instant, right? But by the time you rectify or come to terms with it, it could be that you have lost all your friends. The karma becomes that strong, it multiplies. Or people don't respect you anymore. Why? Karma doesn't stay dormant. It multiplies all the time. And that's the scary part. Some of my students, I tell them, they're in Dharma for so long, I say, you know what, go vegetarian. They find it so difficult to go vegetarian. Do you know why they find it difficult to go vegetarian? Because their karmic habituation for negativity is extremely strong. And they shouldn't be proud of it, because that will lead them to lower depths in the future. You can't even go vegetarian because you're so attached to eating corpses. You can't even go vegetarian. Never mind talking about compassion, benefiting sentient beings, transformation, attainments. What? Don't eat corpse. Don't eat corpse. Why is that so hard? Then you give excuses, you give validations, you go on and on. The Chinese New Year, and you go for friends, family. You make all kinds of excuses that you can eat meat. I'm giving you an example. Why? The meat's not the problem. The problem is you. That you yourself have so much negative karma that it forces you to justify negative action. That's all it is. So attend Dharma talk, cannot. That's your negative karma speaking up again. And then when you fall into it, it increases. It just becomes bigger. Okay? So therefore, Tsongkhapa's practice helps us to purify negative karma. Purify by special visualization combined with the 4 opponent powers of regret. When that's combined, we do this, it purifies negative karma, which is the root. When that's purified, negative habituations change. How do you know when negative habituations change? How do you know? When you get good advice and you switch over very fast. And when you switch over, you don't switch back. Then you know you've done Tsongkhapa's practice correctly and well. You won't have that kind of result. People say, how do I change my bad habits? I'm giving you one method. Easy. Then, spirits such as behar cannot disturb you. It is said, the mala you use for your miktsama, if your guru has given you a mala, you should hold that very strongly because he has blessed it. The mala that you have used, that you recite miktsama on, listen carefully. This is what it says in the commentary. When you have done a retreat on miktsama, a close retreat, 100,000 correctly, one single bead from your mala placed over the outside of your house, or you wear it, spirits cannot disturb you anymore. One bead. You don't need the whole mala. So if you don't know rituals, you don't know what to do, you don't know this, but you've done your miktsama well, you can cut your mala, You can give one bead to that person and say, please wear. It will protect them. That's how powerful Miksama is. You don't need to send money to do pujas. You don't need to look for Jrmg because he's watching a video. You don't need to contact one of his students who's going to give you many reasons why Rinpoche's not available. If you do your Miksama correctly, no joke, one single bead will protect you from spirits and possessions. And do not think that doesn't happen. I've had a few authentic cases this year. It will protect you. So imagine if you wear the whole thing, their whole legion runs. That's how powerful Miksama is. It's no joke. So if you have a pendant, if you have a Buddha pendant, if you have a mala, if you do Miksama, you know what you do. You take your Buddha pendant and you bless it. How do you bless it? You don't think, I'm holy. You think the mantra's holy. You take the pendant. You don't have to take it out. Just hold it. It becomes very powerful. You don't go, spit on it. Just blow gently. If you got bad breath, you blow like that. After you finish your Miksama, you take your mala. No joke. This is what it says in the commentary. You blow on it. And you know what? When you go to distant places or people who have difficulty, they can take your mala and put it on their head, receive a blessing. No joke. Because the mantra itself has great power. Okay? Now, when you do Miksama correctly, listen carefully, and you do it extended periods, even if you're in a place where the elements go out of whack, fire and water and different types of accidents cannot affect you. You can be in an earthquake, you will not be hurt. You can be in a fire, you will not be burned. You will be safe. You will not be, you stick your hands in the fire, you're going to burn. I'm saying something will happen that you won't get burned. So you don't do Miksama and then light your hands on fire. Look, Mom, I did Miksama because it's going to burn. Not that stupid way. So if you're in an area with earthquakes, landslides, the elements cannot bother you if you do Miksama well. It is promised in the sadhana. It's a good promise. You know why? Because we're near Indonesia. And we're always getting some kind of after effects there, especially if you're in Penang. Okay, now, even accidents, listen carefully, it says in the commentary, okay? This is the original commentary by Tsongkhapa. Even accidents will not affect you. And if you happen that your karma is very strong, you will heal from your accident quickly, very quickly. You think doctors, you think all that can prevent it? They can help you. If you don't have the karma to get well, you won't get well. Hence, there are many people who enter the hospital and never leave. Okay, then, this is very important. Another benefit is this. Inner obstacles stop. You know what inner obstacles are? I can't do it. I can't make it. I'm not a good person. I can't practice Dharma. I can't get attainments. I can't stop stealing. I can't stop drinking. I can't stop being mean. I can't stop lying. I can't stop cheating. When you do that, your inner demons will subside. Do you know why? 2 reasons. Because the karma for it to survive will be purified. 1. 2 is that Dharma knowledge will go in stronger. Because by the blessings of Llama Tsongkhapa, Dharma knowledge will go in stronger, which is the actual force to fight those inner demons. Praying simply doesn't make those demons go away. Does not. Okay, then, do you have disharmony in your life? Do you have a lot of people who view you negatively? Do you have a lot of people who don't like you? Do you create the circumstances for people not to like you? Do you create the circumstances for people to look at you and run, or they want to avoid you, or they don't have a good energy about you, a good feeling? Do you create the energy that people actually deep down inside don't like you, and you create disharmony? Because the practice involves Vajrapani, who is the tamer of demons. Posa, Jrmg, Posa. By doing Lama Tsongkhapa's practice, you will see harmony come into your life. Because you will tame the causes for disharmony. Harmony will come into your life. Okay, then you will receive attainments. You will receive 2 types of attainments. Okay? The attainments have two parts. One is you will be able to understand the path and stages to Lamrim and all the Buddha's teachings, in fact, more easily. And the beautiful thing is you can adopt it into your life easily. That means you can change faster. Do you know what that means? Your anger becomes less. Your diseases become healed. The repercussions of your previous actions in your life are cut. Two ways to cut. One is they don't multiply anymore. The other way is they're purified. Okay? Laziness starts to go away. Those things will happen. Then this is what happens. You will attain 7 types of wisdoms. 7 types from Lama Tsongkhapa's practice. Great wisdom. The first one is great wisdom, where you abandon what is unnecessary easily. You can abandon very easily. Meaning, if you've been screaming at your partner, you've been mean at your partner, you will have the wisdom to see that this action is not beneficial, that it creates more harm, the karmic situation is negative. So when you realize that, you will stop. So this creates great wisdom for you to see what needs to be abandoned, what needs to be stopped, and you will stop it. First. Second wisdom, clear wisdom. You will attain clear wisdom, which means anything that is profound, not just simple teachings, profound teachings, such as emptiness, you will be able to grasp easily. You will grasp it and you will have no pride or ego of understanding. You will not walk around like a peacock. You will be very humble. Those who practice Dharma and understand the Dharma well become more and more and more humble, more and more caring, not more arrogant. Definitely not. Third type of wisdom, in short, is the wisdom to dispel doubt, wrong conception, and what is unknown in your mind, and the actual nature of objects that create harm will arise very quickly. So if you have doubts, you'll be able to think about it or read something, understand, and attack the doubt immediately, you understand. You can attend a Dharma talk, immediately understand. So by doing Lama Tsongkhapa's practice, you will gain quick wisdom. Quick wisdom to dispel doubt quickly, to dispel wrong conception quickly, to dispel the unknowns in your mind quickly. Next one is profound wisdom. When you do Lama Tsongkhapa's practice well, you will have profound wisdom, which means you will understand the actual teachings very quickly, very fast. Then number 5 is expounding knowledge. Expounding or teaching or explaining knowledge or Dharma. You will have the wisdom to understand the listener's aptitude. You will be able to look into the audience of hundreds of people or 10 and 20 people, and you'll understand their mind by their expression, by their body, by their movements, by their mood, by their face, and their total body language. You'll be able to understand immediately whether the teachings has gone in or not, whether they're meritorious or not, or whether the teachings suit them or not. You'll be able to adjust immediately. You'll have the wisdom to teach in such a way it goes into people's minds. Isn't there some people just talks about Dharma for hours and hours and hours and hours, and then you just go, I don't remember anything. And some people, when they teach the Dharma or when you read their book, it touches your heart, it makes you cry. The ones that touches your heart and makes you cry, there's a few factors. One of them is they've done their practice correctly. All right? And then you'll be able to speak in an orderly manner. You'll give wonderful analogies and wonderful conclusions. You'll also be able to become erudite teachers, erudite people who give knowledge to others that change their lives. So you'll gain the power of expounding knowledge, the wisdom of expounding knowledge. The next one is number 6. Out of the 7 wisdoms, number 6 is the wisdom of debate. You'll be able to listen to other people's questions and doubts and what they're thinking and what they're not thinking, and by the skill of your words, spoken with great depth and compassion, cut through their ignorance and change their minds very quickly. If you can't change their minds, they cannot change yours because they don't have the merit to hear. So you will have the wisdom of spiritual debate. Why spiritual? Because you'll be able to turn their mind around to thinking higher thoughts. You'll be very powerful. Debate doesn't mean being loud or being sneaky or just being witty. No. Debate is you can change their lives. All right, just being witty is for the moment. You know, when the party's over, they say, oh, he was witty. What's the big deal? But if they leave the party and say, that person really made me think, and I'm going to do something about this. That is the wisdom of debate. And you can attain that kind of power of speech through Lama Tsongkhapa's practice. How many would like to have better speech? How many would like to have more convincing speech? Not only for spiritual debate in daily. Everybody. Everybody. And then last but not least is you'll have the wisdom of composition. Composition doesn't just mean writing well. Composition means what you write, you have confidence on the subject matter, and whatever you write will affect the reader. So let me go a little deeper. We have people who is going to be doing the Tsongkhapa book. We have the wonderful, delicious, and very, very beneficial KMP department. If you're part of KMP, Lama Tsongkhapa's teachings apply to you very much. Why? Because whatever books you write, edit, create, whatever books you publish, it is not a worldly action just to be famous and make money and get the thoughts out. Your books must bless the readers, as Jrmg says. So if you're going to do the Tsongkhapa coffee book, or you're going to do any books, or you're going to do any bio books, listen carefully. It cannot just be another form of entertainment for the reader. Your books cannot just be a subject, a conversation for you to have a great lunch with someone. Your books must put an indelible mark in their mind, bless their mind to transform, and push them and motivate them and inspire them to go deeper beyond what they are used to. So therefore, in order for your books to be an object to bless people, A, good motivation, B, knowledge, C, blessed by your Lama and your lineage Lamas. How? If you have a wonderful relationship with your Lama, and your Lama has a relationship with his Lama, and his Lama, the lineage Lama's blessings will come down to you and come down through you. So whatever you speak, whatever you write, whatever you even you give people a pendant, it will be highly charged and blessed. Do you know why? Because it's not blessed by one person, it's blessed by a whole lineage. So therefore, if you're going to write a book, it cannot be a project. It cannot be another item to put on the shelf to say where we've made it. It cannot be another conversation piece. Our books cannot just be another beautiful, up-to-date, wow, something to adorn a coffee table. Our books must actually change lives, transform people's minds, and make them think higher and bigger and wider. So if you yourself have ugly speech, if you yourself are selfish, if you yourself have broken your commitments to your Lama, if you yourself always are lying or is greedy or is sneaky, then what's the point you get involved with the book project? What's the point? What is the point that you get involved with the book project? Because your energy in that book will drag the book down. That's right. So if you have 4 people or 5 people and one person's negative, you'll drag one part of the book down because your samaya is broken. So for you to be involved in the book project, you have to have great samaya with your Lama. You have to do your practices. You have to be honest. You have to be kind. And you have to be real. So if you're doing that and then you do the book, it will be blessed. If you're not doing that, why pull other people down? Why? No point. That's not just for books. That's for any Dharma work we do for others. So hence, KMP department is very important. Our books are beautiful. I am very proud of our books. And I know our books are going to get better and better because we're going to get better. We're going to get better. And you know what? Some group of people, a lot of people in the future will read the who's, and we're going to move them. And they're going to come to us and they're going to say, how can I help? And when they help us, you know what's going to happen? We give them some purpose in their lives, and we also are fulfilling some purpose in our lives by having an honor of helping them. It's an honor to help others. It's a great pleasure. Then, if we want to express Tsongkhapa's body, speech, and mind, we can express Tsongkhapa by composition, writing. We can express Tsongkhapa by learning the Dharma. We can express Tsongkhapa by teaching others. We can express Tsongkhapa by doing meditations daily. We can express Tsongkhapa's energy by gaining attainments. We can also tap into Tsongkhapa or express Tsongkhapa's energies through taking commitments or repairing commitments. We can also celebrate Tsongkhapa by taking care of our parents, taking care of the old, or giving donations to charities, or creating charities. Very, very powerful. That's different ways to express Tsongkhapa's energy. And also, to bring Tsongkhapa's energy, life, story, history, background, benefits to others, it must be done with compassion. If we're going to do a dance for Tsongkhapa, if we're going to do a play for Tsongkhapa, if we're going to create a theater for Tsongkhapa, it must be done with a motivation that by using my body, that I have trained in dance for many years, many months, many days, I will use my body for others. How do you use your body for others? When you're doing a dance, when you're doing a play, when you're doing a theater, usually it's about something that doesn't really matter. Some princess, some prince, some king, some peasant, some farmer. Some story about somebody that's ordinary and normal. It gives a little inspiration at the end. But when you use your body and your studio and your facilities and your costumes and your designs and your art and your voice to express Tsongkhapa's body, do you know what you're doing? You're teaching people Tsongkhapa's life through art. Not everybody can sit in a teaching and stay awake. But people can sit in a play and watch some. So imagine that for the first time in your life, you use your training, your art, your talent, your passion, your feelings and your emotions and your discipline to teach others about Lama Tsongkhapa. Today, as modern people living in the modern world, we think that we have electricity, we have lights, we have cars, we have airplanes, everything's convenient and everything's easier. Actually, our lives have become more complicated, more difficult, and more depressing than people of the past. It's less simple. So therefore, we have a lot of obstacles, but a lot of our obstacles are created from the inside that manifest on the outside. In our tradition, we can focus on Heart Sutra, we can focus on Singdongma, we can focus on a sutra called Miga Chamde. We can focus on Tara's practice to remove obstacles. So after our retreat, after we do our retreat, this is how we do our retreat. We will have a cushion and we will draw a Buddhist swastika, which represents indestructibility. Swastikas originate from Buddhism, indestructibility. That will be drawn on a piece of paper. We recite Miktama and blow on it, consecrate it. Then we have kusha grass. You can ask my assistants, one long one, one short one. You put the long one facing this way, out. You put the short one facing this way. And that will be put on top of your swastika, under your cushion. If possible, during the time of your retreat, no one else sits on your cushion, only you. Okay, if not possible, it's okay. You put that under there because the Buddha sat on a cushion of grass to meditate and become fully enlightened. It's a blessing. Next thing is you set up the offerings, all right? Yeah, Suguzusa. The first torma, everybody look carefully. You can take a picture. Jrmg Buddha. This torma is for Tsongkhapa. You can fill the biscuit up for 1 week and change it weekly or change it daily, up to you. If you change it weekly, you just think you offer this portion, this portion, this portion. You don't have to make tormas like the Tibetans. It's impractical and the bugs will eat it. So you use that one. That is your Jrmg's torma that you use. Then the one on the left is Jrmg's entourage. Okay? The next torma is Setrap's torma. That's Setrap's torma that's red. The one next to that is Setrap's entourage torma. Okay? So during your Tsongkhapa retreat, you'll have 4 main tormas. The purpose of the torma is to develop generosity and gain attainments. All right? Why I put it in the glass and screwed cover so the ants can't go in and defile it. Okay? When you're done with that, when you're done offering that, what you can do is take it and feed it to the birds. You can eat it yourself too. It's a blessing. You can give it to friends, especially people who are sick. It's very blessed. So you can change it daily, every 2 days, 3 days, or weekly, up to you. Up to you, okay? So Jrmg's torma, Jrmg's entourage torma, Satrap's torma, Satrap's entourage torma. Correct. So that is the 4 tormas that you need to have for Tsongkhapa's practice. It doesn't have to be that big. It can be smaller bottles. But listen carefully. Tsongkhapa's torma should be bigger than the entourage. Satrap's torma should be bigger than the entourage. Okay? That will be 1. The next set is the outer offerings of Lama Tsongkhapa, which is the 2 waters, the flowers, the incense, the food. Same thing. The first row is the outer offering. The second row is the inner offering for Lama Tsongkhapa. So for your retreat, you need to have a minimum of 2 sensory offerings for Lama Tsongkhapa. The next set is for Satrap. Next set is Satrap's peaceful offerings. That's the 3rd row, okay? And the last row is Satrap's wrathful offerings. The wrathful offerings contain of water, wrathful flower, wrathful incense, wrathful light, wrathful perfume, wrathful food, wrathful music. So Satrap's wrathful offerings is missing 1 water. Okay? And then those are the requirements for a Tsongkhapa retreat. You don't have to have big bowls. You can have small ones. You can have bigger bowls. I'm giving that as a sample. Big or small, up to you. All right? Then next, if you can, this would be very good every day. If you cannot, never mind. This is optional. Black tea, alcohol, tsampa, or a barley flour, or biscuit, yogurt, and milk. Those are the 5 special commitment offerings to Lord Satrap. Then on top of that, setkim or golden drink. Please point to that, golden drink. That is a good altar offering setup for a Tsongkhapa retreat. I repeat one more time so it's not difficult. Tsongkhapa torma, Tsongkhapa offering torma. Satrap torma, Satrap's entourage torma. I'm sorry, that was Tsongkhapa entourage, right? Tsongkhapa and entourage, Satrap and entourage. Then the first set of sensory offerings goes left to right. The second set of sensory offerings go from right to left. Then the next set is for Satrap, left to right. Then the last one is Satrap's wrathful offerings. Okay? Then in front, the last row is optional for Satrap daily. It's optional. I mentioned already earlier. Okay? And then the black tea. That will be an altar for your retreat. And then, of course, you have to have Lama Tsongkhapa's image. Please point the image. There's Pashida. This Lama Tsongkhapa statue here, it can be a statue, it can be a picture, it can be a tanka, it can be a photo, up to you. So that's Lama Tsongkhapa you should have on the altar. And then in front, you should have your guru's picture and also Satrap's picture. Okay, Satrap Yatunda or Zata. Okay, Satrap is here. Size doesn't matter. So that will be perfect for your retreat. Okay, then you will clean that every day and change it every day. The biscuit, up to you. Every day, weekly, up to you till you finish. Okay? So, if you say to yourself, okay, I put the biscuit for 7 days, then the biscuit lasts for 7 days. After 7 days, you change it. If you forget, change it on 8th day. Don't make a big deal. Tsongkhapa is not going to cry. Okay? And then you do refuge, the 4 immeasurables. Then you do the Guru Yoga of Tsongkhapa. Then when you get to Tsongkhapa's mantra, you do Miksama. That's where you focus. So Miksama, you can do 1 round, 2 round, 3 round, you mark it. Next day, you do a few rounds, you mark it. So your retreat should be a minimum of 100,000, but that would be hard for some of us. So you don't do big retreats in the beginning because you'll stress yourself out. What you do is you do 5,000 Tsongkhapa retreats. Example, let's do a weekend retreat. You can start Friday, finish on Monday. You know what's the best way to spend your birthday or death anniversary or something for your parents? Is a Tsongkhapa retreat. It is the best way to spend your birthday. Do you know why? That is the day for you to heal, to remember, to give back, and to practice and do spirituality. You were born for a purpose. It isn't to have fun only. So the best time to do a retreat of Tsongkhapa, even with a group of friends or by yourself, is on your birthday. Or on your parents' death anniversary, or their marriage anniversary, or a special day, or a birthday of a loved one. Example, if you have a birthday of a loved one, you know what you can do? You can do a retreat on that day for them and send them a note and dedicate it to them. That's your gift to them. Very powerful. Very, very powerful. That's a wonderful way to spend something on that special time, because that is a special time for you. Very special. So therefore, if you do a Tsongkhapa retreat, let me repeat, the tormas, the size is up to you. I just put that because I like it, make it big. I like everything big. Anyways, the torma is big, wonderful. Wonderful. And then the offering cups I have there, up to you. Can be silver, can be metal, can be copper, can be plastic. It can be small, it can be medium, up to you. Some people like small, some people like big, up to you. Can be made crystal, make porcelain, up to you. Okay, clean every day. Then the inside, you can put pearls, you can put rice, up to you. Okay, every day you use. And then the biscuits, when you change, you can take it or you can give it to animals and you can feed them. It's okay also. And then when do you clean the offerings? You clean it every day, and when you finish your final retreat. Then you do the miksama, and then during the miksama, there are 7 types of visualizations you can do for the 7 types of wisdom. Those who are interested, please go into my archives, and I've given extensive, long teachings. So there are 7 types of meditations you do during Tsongkhapa's mantra. So when you're reciting mantra, you don't think food, go out, go do this, sleep, and eat, my doggy. You actually do a meditation, then you'll gain attainments. Let me explain why. If attainments were achieved by your mouth, then you can just recite. If the attainments are achieved by your mind, you have to use your mind to achieve it. So just reciting, you won't achieve it here. So therefore, doing recitation of the mantra, of course, you have to do a certain types of visualization or meditation. Why? It's your mind that gains attainments. So to senselessly sit there and just recite, you come out, you're still me, nothing much, but you collect some merit. So therefore, after you do miksama, right, then you offer the tormas. Om A Guru Bezdara Sumati Kiti Sabari Wara Inabamta Kaka Kai Kai Kai. I recited earlier 3 times. After that, you do the offering of Tsongkhapa. Om A Guru Bezdara Sumati Kiti Sabari Wara Agum Patin Pube Dube. Om A Guru Bezdara Sumati Agum Patin Pube Dube Alok again in the Shabda Patina. Then you do the praise of Tsongkhapa. Then you know what? Right after that, you do the Yönden Shigyurma. Yönden Shigyurma is the compilation of the complete Lamrim prayers in the form of aspirational meditation or prayer. So while you're reciting the Yönden Shigyurma, it's in English, we have it in English, you meditate and you tell Tsongkhapa, please let me understand the Lamrim, please let me absorb the Lamrim, please may be able to practice Lamrim, may I be able to achieve the Lamrim. Then you recite the Yönden Shigyurma. Then you do the rest of the dissolution. The last part is the most beautiful. There are 3 verses you recite. The first one, Tsongkhapa his disciples dissolve into him. The second one, Tsongkhapa comes to your head. The third recitation, Tsongkhapa dissolves into you. I gave teachings on that. It's very extensive. After he dissolves into you, your mind and Tsongkhapa becomes one. Because in Buddhism, it isn't about praying to someone in the sky and saying they're there and you're always here. In Buddhism, it's you who will become enlightened. It's you who will become a Buddha. Then the last part of Tsongkhapa's meditation is the poa, which is in my teachings. That's where you actually concentrate on your consciousness, ready to leave, to enter Tsongkhapa's Tushita paradise. There's a special meditation. Then you do dedication. So you can do the retreat in that way. I gave it to you in short form because I already explained it in long form. I'm not going to go over it tonight. It's not necessary. But in the future, I might give those teachings again in a more updated version. I'm very interested in that because I want to produce that for other people. So therefore, that's how you finish your retreat. How much you do your retreat, it can be 5,000, 1,000, 3,000, 10,000, up to you. Once you start, anytime. Once you end, anytime. When's the best time to do it? Anytime, but on Tsongkhapa's special days related to the Dharma is very good. Special days related to you is very good. Please use your life in a beneficially spiritual way. The parties are fun, but they get you nowhere. Okay? So that's on the retreat that I want to talk about. Simple and sweet and short. In today's world, because of the obstacles, Heart Sutra, Miga Tramde, Singdongma, or Tara. Tara is really excellent for removing obstacles. Usually we find a guru, we learn the teachings, then we do tantric practice, and then we do the protective practices. But for our people here, I do the opposite. I recommend everybody to do protector practice. Whenever you can, do satrap retreats. Whenever you can. Those of you who are interested in the satrap retreats, I have given teachings, it's recorded, and we have the textbooks for it, also short form. Everyone, every 6 months, should do your best to do a satrap retreat, even if it's short and sweet. Because do you know why? You have so many obstacles, so many ups and downs, so many physical problems, so many difficulties. Only a very swift and enlightened, ferocious Dharma protector can help you. So if you rely on satrap 100%, it'll be fine. Why? If the 3,000 monks of Ganden for the last 600 years relied on satrap, he's good enough for you. Satrap is the protector of Ganden Monastery. It is the monastery of Lama Tsongkhapa, the one he built. So if the holy old monks there practice satrap and they rely on him, you trust me, why did they pick him out of all the protectors? They picked him out of all the protectors because he's very useful and very quick. So therefore, I recommend to my friends, I recommend to my students, and I recommend with great care and great concern to devote yourself to satrap. The satrap pujas we have at the center, go. Contribute. Join. It's just 2-3 hours. Make it a habit to go. And do your satrap practice every day. And every 6 months, do a Tsongkhapa come satrap retreat. You don't have to do 100,000 Tsongkhapa because you got business, you got to pay your bills. Do 5,000 with your girlfriend, with your boyfriend, with your partner, with your friends. Sit together, do it, or send your partner to work. You do the next time they do, and then you go to work. Do something positive. Push each other to do something good. So do Tsongkhapa retreat at least once a year to increase your wisdom. 7 types of wisdom to purify your karma. And you know, you get all kinds of thoughts. Oh, I don't want to do Dharma. I can't do Dharma work. Oh, yeah, I feel lazy. I cannot make it. It will go away. Oh, I can't eat vegetarian. I want meat. You better recite more Tsongkhapa. Yeah, you should be ashamed. Especially people who teach the Dharma, they eat meat. How can the Dharma come out of your mouth and the meat go in your mouth? How can? How can this mouth put flesh and then Dharma? Then why don't you put Dharma and flesh together? Put a hamburger in your mouth and omani pemo. How can? How can meat and omani pemo mix? Omani pemo is Kuan Yin ma, compassion what? Where got Kuan Yin say go have hamburger? Go kill. So if you're teaching the Dharma and you teach Dharma and you're crying, you're so, oh, wonderful, oh, Dharma, oh, and afterwards you eat chicken. Where's all the tears? You want to benefit all sentient beings. What? All sentient beings except chickens, is it? All sentient beings except meat, huh? Well, all sentient beings. It doesn't make sense. So if you find it difficult to not eat meat, it means you're not committed. Simple. You don't make excuses. Oh, but my health law. Oh, no. You know, I read a vegetarian manual. It says, it's not that vegetarian makes your body weak. It's the balance of vegetarian. The lack of balance or the lack of the combination that makes you weak. It's not having meat. So remember, here's the hamburger, here's your lungs, and the mantra Om Mani Padme Hum. Does that make sense? Does that make sense to anybody? Look, so what? You have the power to bless the meat. He take good rebirth because of you. Then you go to the zoo and recite mantras to all the animals. You don't have to eat them to bless them. You shouldn't eat meat. Not because you're a bad person, because we have so many things to eat. I'm a vegetarian. Look, I'm very healthy. You should. Have a commitment towards something. And don't make excuses. It's hard and difficult. And when no one's looking, you sneak away to KFC. I walk by, I catch you, you get slapped. Don't think I don't know some of you sneak to KFC. Don't think I don't know you buy meat when no one looking. Don't think. Very bad karma. Very bad. That's why I opened a vegetarian restaurant. If you eat there, you collect good karma. If you don't, bad karma. La. Vegetarian I promote is just one. There's much more. That's not our only focus. There's much more. So therefore, what I'm focusing is not the vegetarian, I'm focusing on our mind, how it tricks us to do things. That's all it is. It just tricks us. So if we do Mixema, We purify the negative karma that fuels negative thinking. That fuels negative thinking. Do you want your friends to be impressed with you? You do spiritualism? Then do it. Do you want yourself to be impressed with yourself? If you want other people to respect you, then do spiritualism. Why? Spiritualism is the highest of the high in all countries, all nations in history. So if you do spiritualism, everybody respect you. Everybody like you. You like yourself. Okay, so therefore, do Satraps practice. I'm not going to go into the procedure because I've already spoke about it, and our center knows how to teach you, and it also has the sadhana book for Satrap. Do Satraps retreat every 6 months. Attend Satraps puja. Let me remind you, some people who do Satrap, their fortunes go down, some of them goes up. Don't think, why like that? It's what you need at that moment. Do not tell Satrap how he should help you. You just tell Satrap, help me. However he helps you, you accept it. Prayer is not demanding the Buddhas to do it your way because you don't have wisdom like them. Prayer and solicitation and requesting the Buddhas to help you is not for them to help you your way. Because if they don't help you your way, you leave KH. Well, I'll miss you, and I hope you come back. But we can't do it your way. Satrap can't do it your way. Satrap doesn't do it my way. There are many years I pray this way, I get this way, and later I see, oh, now I know why. So don't think that Satrap has to do it your way. If you think it that way, even your ego surpasses the Buddhas. So if you pray and opposite comes, be happy. You know why? Maybe this will be better for you in the long run. Believe. If there's 3,000 monks for 600 years have gone in, can pray to Satrap, there must be some reason. Okay? So do his retreat, do his practice. Promote him as much as you can to others. And then have fun and do your thing in life. I didn't tell you to become a monk or nun. Then you do your thing. Okay? So therefore, remove your obstacles. Inner, doubt, confusion, anger. Remove your outer obstacles. Health, problems, difficulties, misfortunes by relying on a Dharma protector. You don't have to do Dharma protector. You can do Tara, you can do Heart Sutra. But for me, I find it most effective to do a Dharma protector. I've been doing it my whole life. And I've gone through so much. When my biography books comes out, you will see. Remove your obstacles. First do Jrmg. Jrmg is what? Jrmg, Tsongkhapa, and Satrap is different. Jrmg gives you attainments, transforms your mind, purifies your negative karma, gives you a different perspective, blesses your mind to develop good qualities, helps you to understand deeper the Dharma so that you can understand how to transform your mind. Satrap removes the obstacles for that to happen. That's how they complement each other. Okay? So please do Satrap's practice well. And do not put all kinds of weird expectations on him. May I fly or I don't pray to you. You should say, may I gain great compassion. May I forgive. May I be kind to my partner. That's what you should pray for. Okay? So if you feel any danger, if you feel anything not good or anything funny, rely on Satrap. If you do it regularly, then you ask him for help, he help you immediately. If you don't do regularly, it's like any friend. You only call me when you want me what? Don't call Satrap when you only want him. Contact him every day, no matter what, and be stable. And when good things happen, you will see him do miracles for you. When bad things happen, you'll see him do miracles for you. He will be with you. He will be an ally. He'll be a friend. He'll be a bodyguard. He'll be someone that always protects your mind and help you to gain attainments by doing your practice. Rely. Every department in KH should rely on Satrap strongly. Every department should do Satrap pujas together, if possible, once a week. Or individually, if your departments are like the outlets, because you're at different timing. Every department should do Satrap. Every department should contribute to the practice of Satrap, and every individual should. Why? If you do Satrap, you will remove your own obstacles. You will learn the Dharma more. You will remove the obstacles to your life and to your department that you're working in. And if you do Satrap very well, you will make TKL manifest even faster. And if TKL manifests, we all have a beneficial stake in it if you do Setrap. In fact, the center should have Setrap and Tsongkhapa retreat festivals, meaning they send out flyers, they have special preparations, and once a year they have Setrap retreat. Example, a 3-day Tsongkhapa extravaganza retreat where they set up offerings, everybody get together, 60, 70, 100, 200 people get together, just do Tsongkhapa retreat together. How beautiful. You start on a Friday, finish on a Sunday, go to work. Then sometimes you can have a Setrap extravaganza retreat. Start on Friday, do all day, start one session Friday night, do all day Saturday, all day Sunday, finish Sunday night, go to work. The center should do that. Why? The center should be a place that supports people's spiritual practice in any way that they need. Okay? So rely on Setrap. If you rely on all the Dharma protectors, you visualize them dissolving to Setrap, it'll be fine. You visualize all the Buddhas dissolve into Lama Tsongkhapa, you do Lama Tsongkhapa, it'll be fine. It'll be very beneficial, I promise you. Very, very beneficial.